haphazard teamer.
Hello, my friends. Welcome to live coverage of GP Copenhagen. We are live for day number 2, kicking things off with round 9. In the booth, Nicholas Holtmann on Grixis control and his opponent, Sune Hvidt on Haphazard Teamer. We talked about this deck a little bit earlier, introducing it to the world here, and my goodness me, Simon, it is a very, very spicy brew.
Yeah, it has been kept under wraps until now, the secret technology. Bunch of ramp cards. I expect Sune to ramp up on turn 3, maybe also later on during the game, and then some all-stars. Star of Extinction, one of them.
Yeah. Probably the brightest burning all-star, Nicholas Holtmann, going with that lands before spells look, and quickly rebuffed here by the coverage staff. We don't have any time for that. It's funny, Rich, because Nicholas Holtmann also playing a moderately spicy brew here as well. We don't see a lot of Grixis control.
we do not. It's like, how did that happen? He didn't even make the list of weird and wacky, to be fair.
At GP Birmingham, a bunch of German players were playing Grixis control, splashing for Goblin Chain Roller. There was
splash. That's triple red.
Yeah, they were blue-black control, but they somehow put a triple red card in their decks.
Best card in standard. Why wouldn't just easily splash it? Yeah, we're going to see Bant Chain Whirler decks dominate the format in the coming days and weeks. A spring to mind here for Sune Hvidt, and Simon, you've got the list in front of you. Not the only ramp spell that Hvit's playing here. Exactly.
Spring to mind. We have Grow from the Ashes, and I think most importantly the Hour of Promise. So once Sune reaches 5 mana, he can actually get a few deserts out of his deck. Those might also be his win condition.
Yeah, it really does look that way. There's one creature in the list, one copy of Ramunap Excavator. So unless it's just 2-3 beatdowns all day, then I don't know how Vit's winning the game. Hash Up Oasis, ways to push through extra damage, and a couple of copies of Ipnu Rivulet as well is going to help Vit have potentially mill out his opponent, but pretty light on win conditions. I'd love to see this. A lot of sweepers, however.
Yeah, sweepers, of course, not that good against Grixis control. We will see if Niklas can put on some pressure here, because otherwise it can be actually quite scary to play against the ramp deck.
We'll see now. Blink of an eye. A little bit of a tempo play here for Vit, not looking to have the Scarab God do too much business. Another Blink of an Eye off the top, and it looks like Star of Extinction, Hour of Devastation, Blink of an Eye, and a Commit to Memory in hand here for Vit, so no lands for him to play. Search for Azcant, however, is putting Holtmann in a good spot early on, Simon.
I don't think Vit is really concerned about that flipping. He has so much land destruction.
Oh, yeah, that's very true.
4 Memorial to War.
Oh, yeah, that's...
Azcanta is not surviving.
No, that search for Azcanta is not going to yield particularly spectacular results.
He's wearing a We Come in Peace t-shirt. He's clearly not... This is a player who's holding Star of Extinction, wearing We Come in Peace.
Yeah, I don't think the meteor that crashed near the Yucatan Peninsula was waving a flag saying, "Don't worry, dinosaurs, you've got nothing to worry about.
It'll all be fine."
It's fine. See now what Hvit's next move is. Looks like it's going to be a Commit to Memory. And Holtmann sticks the Gearhulk back in his deck, and it's going to head back to the German for another turn now. Bins an island. Lightning fast play from him. Very impressed to see that, Simon, especially when we're playing control decks. Always important to play at a reasonable clip.
Yeah, and a pretty nice synergy, actually. Search for Azcanta against Commit. You get your card much earlier.
Fledermaus in chat asks, this is Germany versus Denmark based on names, right? So are you assuming that Grixis Control is a German name and Haphazard Teamer is a Danish name? That seems weird, Fledermaus. Anyway, moving on.
Do you know what Fledermaus means?
I do. Obviously, fool, because it's the name of an opera.
Oh.
Is it?
I didn't know that.
It's the Flying Mouse.
The Flying Mouse, yeah.
Well, the Fledermaus. That's literally what
it is. Yeah, you are right. That is one of the most correct uses of the word literally. It is literally correct.
Yeah.
The Germans are very literal people. If you don't know some of the spectacular names that Germans have for various things, gloves, hand shoes. That's not a joke, Simon. Light bulbs, glow pairs. Your language is glorious.
I know.
Also, glorious Torrential Gearhole coming down for an encore performance here, and Vit has nothing to say about it. Supreme Will going to be flashed back. little bit of an impulse here for Holtmann. We'll see what he can find off the top of his deck. Saw a negate amongst that. That's a main deck negate. We're big fans of them in coverage.
Yeah, but it's a bit unfair against an opponent that tries to resolve Star of Extinction.
Yeah, it is a bit of a buzzkill, huh? Holtmann kind of harshing Fitz vibe here. In comes the 5-6. He does have the answer with the Star of Extinction, but Holtmann is going to be able to take care of that. Not only a negate here, but also a syncopate. All right, let's flashback Mind here. Draw 2 cards. Nope, a syncopate. Easy game for Nicholas Holtmann. Getting use out of that syncopate. Usually pretty bad on turn 1,000,000, but pretty good against the mono 8 drop deck.
Yeah, but at the same time, he did tap some mana. He spent one of his counterspells, so Sun actually got what he wanted out of that turn. It's only that Niklas has more permission, of course.
Well, the beats by the Gearhulk will continue by the look of things. Holtmann, with the permission spells he needs to protect his 5-6 and fit with all the lands in the world, all dressed up, nowhere to go here. We'll see what his plan is. We're going to see 7 mana, and this is not going to work out well for Hvitt. Here's a Star of Extinction, targeting the Drowned Catacomb of all things. Oh, no, go after the Fetid Pools. All right. A much wiser choice this time.
It is an island and a swamp, although at this stage it's probably irrelevant.
Yeah, certainly made all the more irrelevant by that copy of Negate that Holtmann was holding on to. And we'll see now a Braid?
A Braid, 3 damage to my Torrential Gearhulk.
Okay. All right. Certainly wasn't using the shatter effect there.
Just to set you up, Riley.
Okay.
Once we get to the end of this game 1, while we're waiting for game 2, I've got a little song, and I'm going to need you to lay some sick beats for me. Just to kind of, just letting you know.
Oh, please don't make me do this.
You don't need to do anything music. I just need the rhythm.
Okay.
Right? It's just like a,
okay.
Something like that.
All right.
That pace.
All right.
Okay?
I need a woodblock.
No, you don't.
Here's the moral of war.
What, just hit yourself over the head with?
Yeah, that seems
Yeah.
fine.
You'll see. It'll all be fine.
So Memorial to War finally seeing it's approaching its manifest destiny here, Simon. Being played and constructed as Garfield intended.
Constructed premiere.
It's probably the first time it's ever been seen in a feature match.
Yes, absolutely.
Apart from as a 15th pick at the draft.
I did play it in Limited from time to time to destroy other memorials.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
You did?
I did.
Okay, all right. Well, there you go. Memorial to War, best card in Standard. Just being confirmed now. As the Torrential Gearhulk gets busy once again. And as kind of the Sunken Ruin has flipped now. Hvitt on 5, not looking good for a haphazard team at Champion. And he's going to flash back another Aftermath card. This one is going to be the Mind, again, of the Spring to Mind. And there's the Haphazard Bombardment. How can he possibly lose from here?
Well, if he comes that... No, that was rhetorical, wasn't it?
It was.
Sorry.
Yeah, there's lots of ways that he could lose. Principally, it's going to be by... he could draw from an empty library. He could commit enough game rule violations to be given a game loss by the judges, but probably he'll lose this game with his life total being reduced to 0. Or
by Torrential Gearhulk.
By Torrential Gearhulk.
Right.
That's the odds-on favourite.
Okay. Were we betting people that we'd go with the Torrential
Yes,
Gearhulk?
that's where the smart money is, I would say.
Okay.
But now, Hvitt, 5 mana. See what he wants to do with this. It's going to be an Hour of Promise by the look of things. So all in, Simon, on that blink of an eye to keep himself alive.
Yeah, and that against Ascanta, of course. That Hour of Promise might not even resolve here.
Hour of Promise with an Ipnu Rivulet in play will be able to get 2 more deserts and therefore create 2 zombies, but doesn't look very good for Hvitt here, as we have another Syncopate. Syncopate for 5. That's going to exile that Hour of Promise for old mate Hvitt, and he's in a world of pain. This blink of an eye has to carry him across the line here, otherwise it's just going to be taken to Pound Town by the Torrential Gearhulk, crashing in for 5. Holtmann really uncontested so far in this game, and it is okay. We're going to see, is that a Search for Escanta being played now? It's a flip card of some kind.
I'm trying to
Drum-
find it.
drum
in the
roll.
list here.
Oh, no. It's a thaumatic compass.
Uh-huh.
And if it...
Bounce straight
Yep.
into your hand
Yep.
to read.
Yep.
That's what we like.
So it's an artifact, and it says, when it comes into play, target opponent picks up this card and reads it to confirm what it does. It does have other abilities as well, though.
It's like if you've made 2 of a GP and your opponent starts showing you cards, that's got to feel a bit disconcerting. It's probably a bit thaumatic, isn't it, really?
Yes, well, let's hope that... well, I was going to say, Holtman's probably not going to lose here, so I don't think he's going to have post-traumatic stress disorder. It's looking like he's going to be in a very good spot for this game, at least.
I think you've won the internet for the day and it's only 9:10.
Yeah, I can go home. I'm not going to do better than that.
No.
I'm not going to do better than that. We've got 9 rounds of coverage left, and I've already hit my peak. It's terrible.
Looks like Torrential Gearhulk is not dealing any damage anytime soon.
No. I guess the Thematic Compass is actually a pretty amazing card, which...
That's very good, yeah.
Blink of an eye now for Sunavit. Have we called it too early, Simon?
Oh, I've heard that before.
Have we called it too early? It may not be all over here because Vit has... I mean, wow. He's pulled a pretty special one together here.
You are aware that every time you say that guy's name, people assume that there's an audio glitch on the stream. It's like, oh, sorry.
Yeah,
just lost a second
bit
there.
of clipping. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. There are some latency issues. Those are the dropped frames.
Holtman. Vit. Sorry about that.
So Vit now.
Refresh.
Yeah. Try to get back up to tempo here. What's this? It's gonna cost him 6, whatever it is.
Bombardment.
Haphazard bombardment. Down it comes.
When do you think we should do the "he's not winning anytime soon" joke? Should we save that one?
Yeah. Don't wanna blow that one too early. I don't think.
Okay. I'll unmute myself now.
You just target 3 lands, right? Just like in Limited.
Yeah.
Aww.
No, you don't target anything because Holtman again with the permission spells. He's really raining on Sunavit's parade here. Hope he brought his umbrella because Holtman is just saying no. But here's a struggle to survive, and that's going to take you over the Torrential Gearhulk. And all of a sudden,
Empty the board. That's what we want to see.
Make me look like a fool.
Good morning, Magic.
And next turn, we still have the Memorial to War for Ascanta, right? So...
Easy game, easy life. Sunavit is on the next... He's not even on the next level. He's 2 levels up, Simon.
This is where you're getting concerned as the control player.
Like... I made day 2 of a GP and I'm being beaten by Memorial to War. I need to make some very... I need to take a long look into that deep, dark, truthful mirror. The Scarab God comes back down now. Old Scabby G getting it done here. And Spoon, this is not a good sign for any... But when your opponent is counting up their lands, you think, oh my goodness, what do they have? What do they have? Hash Up Oasis in the 1 creature deck. What a combo that card is, of course. And Havit maybe going for the kill with an Ipnu Rivulet. Is that the play? We seriously don't know how he wins here. Doesn't seem like a great way to win, milling your opponent out when you're casting Struggle to Survive and Commit to Memory.
We need to shuffle Niklas's graveyard into his library so that the Scarab God and the Gearhulk don't mess with our plans, I think. And Niklas just lets it resolve.
Okay, Holtman with nothing to say about that. The Scarab God held back by, of course, the Spires of Arazka, and with no creatures in his deck apart from a single Ramup Excavator. Nicholas Holtman also only playing the Scarab God and Torrential Gearhulk as his creatures, so that Scarab God isn't going to be able to drain Vit out anytime soon here.
So Niklas declined to get back the Gearhulk, didn't want to expose himself, and would rather keep an Ascanta activation open. But I don't think Ascanta is long for this world.
No, not with that Memorial to War hanging around. Not with that premium 13th draft pick.
Yeah, I often weaken and don't wait to see if I get it last. I'll often take it deliberately 12th or 13th.
Yeah.
Just to,
There's the Memorial to War. Holtman with the activation in response, but as Kanter is going to sink further back below the waves now. And a blink of an eye, the result here for the German. So,
Speaking of Fledermaus, Niklas Holtman is wearing a Batman shirt.
Oh my god.
Fledermausmann. Doesn't have the same ring to it in German, honestly, does it?
That's why we call him Batman as well.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Not Fledermaus Mann? Okay.
What's the German word for robin, as in the bird?
Robin.
Robin.
For the bird, you just call it a robin. Okay.
No, not the bird.
What's the bird?
No, isn't the bird like red-breasted small thing that sings?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Rotkehlchen.
Rotkehlchen. So
Fledermausmann and Rotkehlchen.
And Rotkehlchen, yeah. You can see why they stick with the English.
Fledermausmann. Yeah.
Oh.
Hour of Devastation now.
This is like straight out of
It's at
the
9 till 10 on Good Morning Magic.
Amonkhet storyline, almost.
Oh, Simon, you're so incorrect.
Oh.
The Scarab God was on the side of Nicholas of Nicol Bolas there.
Nicholas.
Oh, Nicholas. No, sorry, he was known as Lord Nicholas during the Ixalan arc there. But no, Simon. Well, I know that you're a flavor hound, but obviously that part missed you. The Hour of Devastation didn't affect any of the gods that were brought on the side of Bolas.
Little behind the scenes moment, genuinely for the viewers. Off to our right, Frank Carsten, who spent most of last night looking at the 164 deck lists to bring you this haphazard teamer list, is basically waving in the air like it's a 1974 disco scene, Disco Inferno, going, I made this, you get to see this because I found haphazard teamer in the deck list, and he's just chortling away at all the nonsense.
He's as happy
that's
as a
on
pig in
screen.
shampoo.
I have not seen him this happy in a long time.
He's he's loving it. Let's have a look at what Holtman's got to play with here. This once again here, the Scarab God getting nothing done. Spires of Arazka is going to keep it on, essentially keep it irrelevant at this point. No creatures in graveyards for it to do anything with. And Havit has stabilized marvelously on 5 here. And ladies and gentlemen, you better call your secretaries and get them to clear up your week, because we're going to be here a long time with this match, it seems.
I certainly hope so.
Maybe just one more turn, though, if I'm entirely honest.
Oh, yeah?
Oh.
Why is that?
I think there's a Gear Hulk coming.
Oh, no.
No.
And Havit, without an answer to 2 creatures on the battlefield, that Spires of Arazka keeping one of them at bay. But does Holtman have what it takes now to just take it out? After a long, drawn-out proceedings here, the Torrential Gearhulk flashing back a Glimmer of Genius. 2 cards off the top now for Holtman. And is he going to close this one out? Havit with 1 card in hand. Has to be a good one here. Attack for 10, and that's enough there, Havit, to pack up the cards. And we're going to game number 2. Wow, I tell you this, he really put up a good fight after stabilizing, and there seemed to be a bit of a glimmer of hope there, but Holtman ultimately able to seal the deal with various 5-power creatures. And, we certainly saw the team of deck get put through its paces, but obviously Holtman in a much better spot at the end of things.
All right, Riley. I can't back out now, so here we go.
Well, I can definitely back out.
Okay, that's the pulse. So, okay, do that for me.
I'm gonna.
Okay.
I'll continue
I don't
to
want
click.
this to click. Come
I
on.
can't. I honestly can't do this.
How can you not do that, Simon? Can you do the beats for me?
What do you need?
I just need a boom boom ba-dak, do boom ba-dak, a boom boom ba-dak, do boom. Okay. So here we go.
Boom boom ba-da.
5, 6, 7, and 8. So let's start Good Morning Magic with Haphazard Teamer. You'd get a list like this if you deck build with a lemur. Let's hope he doesn't break his leg, because that would be his femur. Oh yeah. No. So we don't know what he's doing playing Haship Oasis. He's got no win conditions at the end of the day, sis. You gotta have regret if you're going to play this. Ah yeah. Okay, you can stop now. Do you know I did that? It's because you said we were keeping the deck under wraps.
Oh, very good. Richard Hagen, ladies and gentlemen. I had to wear 3 hats this weekend because I've taken my hat off to you so many times.
You're welcome.
It's difficult because I have to put the headphones over the top of them as well.
Yeah, I know.
It's really stretching out the top bit of the headphone bit.
And now, my friends, strategic analysis from Simon Gertzen.
Only the finest.
Sideboarding?
Yeah. yeah. You can. Oh no, you can talk about Magic again, Simon. It's okay.
If you
the
were
silliness is over. You can talk about Magic, mate.
We have win conditions in the Haphazard Teamer sideboard.
You've never found a win condition.
Nezahal Primal Tide.
After sideboard.
After sideboard. We got game 2.
Okay.
Sandworm Convergence. Nissa, Steward of Elements.
And these cards are huge. These cards, obviously coming in post-board, are going to wrap the game up a lot faster because Well, I guess, I don't know. I guess you need to be a bit more proactive in the second games because your opponents are going to be more reactive. They're taking out their dead creature removal and they're bringing in cards that are going to mess with your game plan. So you need a way to close out the game a bit faster.
No, I kind of like... honestly, if you're a control player, playing against these ramp decks is scary because you know that they're either ramping or they're casting something huge that you have to counter. And this is what Game 2 is going to look like. But our friend Sune is also bringing in 4 negates and 2 syncopates. So I think Niklas is in for quite the struggle.
It's interesting, though, because we see decks usually post-board decks slow down, right? They bring in more interaction. They play a more reactive game, generally speaking. There's generally better upgraded removal, disruption, what have you. Whereas Sune Fit is actually looking to do the opposite. He wants to bring in more action. He wants to bring in more cards that are going to close the game out faster and not draw things out.
Yeah, in fact, he might also be able to just take out some of his mass removal because he's playing against a deck with just a very few creatures.
What about Niklas Holtmann, though? The German also, I can see, playing some pretty huge creatures and planeswalkers in his board.
He has a Nicol Bolas in his sideboard.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a real Grixis control deck list with the Nicol Bolas himself. I think the rest of the cards, honestly, yeah, you can bring in 2 Duress, 2 Doomfall, but it's not going to be huge.
What about old Siege?
Siege Gang Commander. Yeah, that's decent. It gets around Mace of Ith. That's so no, it's a bonus.
Yep. It's funny though, as we look across the list here, this Grixis control deck is essentially just blue-black, splashing a Braid and Magma Spray. Apart from that, there's not too much going on here. I mean, I guess just generally more red removal, Magma Spray in particular, lining up well against Scrap Heap Scrounger.
Yeah, just a few cards to deal with artifacts, which blue-black can't do, and Scrap Heap Scrounger is a problem.
Let's have a... Oh, sorry, Rich, go ahead.
No, Riley, no, please.
Oh, no, Rich.
I British people insist.
Yes, okay, well, there you go. You've certainly got that one on me. My ancestors kicked out of the country because we didn't insist enough. Let's have a look now at the standings after the end of round number 8. This is how we looked after day number 1, and you can see quite a number of undefeated players, 7 of them, in fact. Lucas Blowhon, probably the headline act amongst these guys. Oh, there's Javier Dominguez as well in number 2. Don't forget about him. World's finalist last year, doing very well for himself. And the hits don't stop all the way down through the 7-1s. We've got Martin Muller after a very strong performance in day number 1. We've got Peter Glogolski as well, a name that we've all heard of, in addition to a number of other European magicians here. We can move on and have a look at the continued list of 7-1s. Usama Sajad, a GP champion, and of course the little man out of Berlin, Toralf Severin. And I understand Rich will be checking in with his ridiculous Eldest Reborn deck next round.
Yeah, so what we do is we put 6 and 2 matches on camera in round number 9 because right now they're live for winning the tournament. Once you have your 3rd loss, even though it's a small tournament, that's probably the end. Although I say it's small enough that maybe some X and 3s make it in. But what we do is therefore we save the players who've got to 7-1 overnight for round number 10, because even if they lose in round number 9, they too are still live to win the whole tournament when they're on camera. Because yes, we could show you some cool decks, but it's not as fun if you know they're cool but they're not winning at all. And so we want to make sure that the decks we show you are things that you too could come along with no win conditions in and attempt to win a GP with on day 2.
Yeah, easy game. Toralf Severin surprising everyone with his Eldest Reborn list, and you can see his good mate also out of Berlin, Jasper Grimmer there. We checked in with him in day number 1, and he's got to 7-1 as well. Simon Nielsen as well, doing very well with a pretty straight black-red list at 7-1 at the end of round number 8. We'll keep an eye on those standings as they continue here, down all the way to the people at 6 and 3. Now these people
6 and 2.
Oh, sorry, 6 and 2, I should say, not the perfect record heading into day 2. Not really what you want, but still in it with a sniff.
And to be fair, better than 6 and 3.
Yes,
6
also
and 2.
yes, just mathematically better. Yes, that's very true.
And also mathematically more probable after 8 rounds.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I would say
because 6 plus 3 is 9.
That is indeed true.
Was it because it said more round 9 up next?
No, it's because I'm not very good at maths.
Ah, okay.
It's because I just didn't count to 8 rather than 9. I'd do other excuses like, we used to have 9 rounds on day number 1, all that sort of stuff. But no, just really bugging it up.
Just math. Okay,
yep.
Fine. Well, there's Niklas Holtmann and Sune. And we're getting ready for game number 2. And now we've got a much better idea of what's going on, having seen one entire game of Magic. Haven't we, Simon?
Yeah, I mean, we saw a lot of things going on, mostly lands. The occasional 5-power creature.
Lands were put into play. Game actions were taken. And it looks like Suna Vit has boarded into a mono green list here with only forests and Hashap oases. Argyl's Bloodfast, nice way for Holtman to make sure he doesn't fall behind on cards. And we do have a Spring to Mind. That's going to be a really important play here for Havit. Unlock the rest of his hand.
Boing.
Yeah. Couple of blue cards hiding out in the hand of Havit here, so he does need ways to deploy them. And we're seeing Holtman getting on with things now. Dragon Skull Summit and ships. He doesn't have to worry too much. Argyl's Bloodfast is going to keep those cards coming, and as long as he can contest what Havit is doing with counterspells, he's looking good. But have things really changed in your mind post-board now, or do we have one player with a clear advantage, Simon?
Well, I think the Bloodfast is actually huge because Niklas will never run out of cards. Okay, not having an immediate counter for Hour of Promise, however, is going to be a problem. Now suddenly Sun has a board and 7 mana.
Yeah, that's pretty yucky here, as we see now. And Ipnu Rivulet maybe going to go get another... Yeah, well, look at that, a memorial to war now. And that means 3 deserts is going to create 2 zombie tokens, and all of a sudden, Fit has a win condition.
5-turn clock.
Seems to be very much against the spirit of Good Morning Magic, playing
win conditions
in your 6-2 list. So, counts it up. Does not have the City's Blessing just yet, but he's very close.
And this is quite huge because Niklas was planning on using his life total to draw extra cards, and he probably doesn't have too many answers in his main deck left to deal with 2/2s.
I guess you look at those zombies as like every hit with one of them is one fewer card that Holtman can draw with an Argyl's Bloodfast.
Card disadvantage.
Brought on by those Shambly boys. Look at them get across here and knock Holtman down to 14. And on turn 5, this is turn 5 for Sunavit. He's got 8 lands, 2 zombies, and the City's Blessing.
Great.
I should have brought that 4th hat.
That's fantastic.
Now he's going to start drawing extra cards with Arch of Araska. I fully expect him to blow up a land here soonish.
Cyrenis in chat says, I go to the bathroom, I come back, there's already like 20 lands in play. What did I miss? Cyrenis, this is Good Morning Magic. You should never go to the bathroom during Good Morning Magic. You never know what you're going to see or hear round the corner.
Syncopate, a nice answer to that Siege Gang Commander, and Vit rounds out a very tidy turn with another card off his Arch of Araska, counting up his lands again. What has he got? You just bring in all the threats, right, Simon? You bring in all the huge threats.
I think so, yeah. Maybe not the Samrum Convergence, I don't know, but Nissa for sure. Nezahal seems perfect for this matchup.
So, let's see what Vit's up to now with 7 mana. Are we going to see Nezahal? Yep, okay. Taking advantage of Nicholas Holtman being tapped out, so he double can't counter it. And the big dino is going to get it done here for Vit. And Holtman, a very wise decision there, wrapping it up nice and quickly, Simon, to give himself enough time to win game number 3.
Yep. Also, maybe a bit frustrated at how this game went.
I think he's taken a little part-time job down the salt mines.
Turn 3 ramp, turn 5 ramp.
What happened there?
Syncopate your card.
Yeah, it kind of all worked out. It was all coming up fit just now. And a small smile playing on his face. There you go. Look at that. He's like, yeah, really. I really gave it to you that time, didn't I, Holtman? Put that in your pipe and smoke it, my friend. How you like them apples?
So I'm going to say this in a light-hearted way, but it's a genuine point. If you're Nicholas Holtman, Grixis Control, reasonably interesting deck.
Mm-hmm.
I like it for sure. But he will not have gone to bed last night at 6-2 thinking, feature match area, here we come, with my powerful Grixis Control list in the last bracket of the tournament.
No. That wasn't something on his radar.
So given that that's the case, when he gets a feature match in round 1 of day 2, and he looks at the opponent and goes, Sooner well, don't know this guy. Okay, it's not someone famous. I haven't been paired up against 7-1. Why am I in the feature match area? And a lot of people in that situation look at person they've never met before and go, I don't know who you are, but I'm very concerned about what's about to come out
I'm
of that
very
deck
worried
box.
about what is going to happen.
What's going to come
Yeah.
out of that deck box? And there's that moment where there are no cards yet in play, and you're like, you're not on mono red, are you?
Nah, I'm not going to be playing against Goblin Chainwheel
No.
this round.
No, no chain whirlers over there.
What's the percentage on whether Niklas started his Grixis control deck list that put him into the feature match area?
I mean, it's not 0.
Because he's not playing a tier 1 deck
No.
of the format.
No, I mean, there's a chance if it's just, if we look at, I mean, what was it? It was 104% Goblin Chainwhirler.
Yeah, that was the correct answer to trivia.
It was 102.
102%,
102, excuse me.
because it was 4 copies in all 460 lists, and then 7 people accidentally also put 4 copies in their sideboard.
In the sideboards, yeah. Embarrassing mistake for them. Really messed with the totally accurate Magic statistics there.
Yeah, more of those later today, by the way.
Yes, keep an eye out for those trivia questions. Always reliable.
Yeah.
Always painstakingly researched, Rich.
Painstakingly researched by Rich, indeed. All right.
Search for his counter now for Nicholas Holtman. Great early play for him, dodging that negate in sooner Vit's hand. But Vit has a... Oh, my friend. Chill thyself. You don't get the maze just yet.
Is that Shakespeare?
Yes.
Chill thyself.
Chill thyself, fiend. Thou harshest my vibe.
Wow.
Oh, what a top deck. Forest off the top when you're holding 3 Spring to Mines and only
easy.
blue spells.
Yeah, and this is true powerful wizardry here from Havit, and it's only going to get worse now for Holtman. Oh no, he's got the disallow.
But the compass is active.
So Vit's not going to be running out of time running out of land anytime soon. Thematic compass giving him his bearings and telling him which direction he needs to head in here. Although no land is off the top.
No, he didn't have lands but I was expecting him to just use the compass here.
Okay, Glimmer of Genius now for Holtman. And interesting, he didn't use the compass there, looking to hold up counter magic and use the compass end of turn, but that's costing him a land drop, Simon.
Yeah, it delays everything quite a bit. I usually just like to get my lands on the battlefield, and then next turn you can activate in your main phase, keep negate up and essence scatter. Okay, it's shields down for a single turn. It's maybe a bit scary, but
it's not going to matter as well as Nicholas Holtman has the duress. I think Vit's plan was there to counter a 5-drop.
Oh, he
like
still can.
God.
We will get a look at his hand. He doesn't have a problem with that duress, I think.
All right, so negate, syncopate, and essence scatter, all potential 2-mana counter spells here, in addition to the double spring. And I mean, he's living the dream in the sense that he's just holding up magic, counter magic, and still having things to do at the end of his turn should the need arise. In this situation, however, Simon, something I don't like is the fact that he's let this duress resolve.
Why don't you like that?
Just counter it with the negate. Don't give your opponent the information. They're almost certainly going to take a counter spell after seeing your hand. Don't give them the information.
But this way you can still activate the compass.
I think if it was looking to leverage his counter magic meaningfully against his opponent, giving Holtman the pick of the bunch and letting him take something like the essence scatter and giving him the information, I don't like it.
See, the thing is, Riley, one of the reasons I admire you so much is I've just been listening for the last 30 seconds. And what I heard was, Riley ventures an opinion, Pro Tour champion gently explains that you're wrong, and you come over the top with, no, I really don't like it. That's awesome. Good job.
Thanks, man.
Also, he's probably right.
I mean,
that's the worry.
I don't think it's black and white as that.
Sure.
Generally speaking, I don't think people counter hand disruption spells enough. And in this situation, sure, he can't activate the compass, but I don't. Simon may be correct, but I don't think it's 100%.
Super obvious, right?
Yeah. Negate now in the Glimmer of Genius. Nice way to keep Holtman from continue to restock his hand. Gives pause to the search for his counter trigger. What's he looking for here at this point?
I think why that trigger is so difficult is because you kind of want to flip a Scanta as soon as possible. And Niklas had 5 cards in the graveyard already. So maybe he wanted to put a good card in his graveyard just to speed up the process.
So if it has been worked out of counter magic Well, almost. He's still got that Syncopate in hand. And now a Doomfall is going to take care of that Syncopate should Nicholas Holtman choose. Star of Extinction and Double Spring to Mind here. Also options.
So Star of Extinction is still in Soon's deck after sideboarding. I don't know. These turns were a bit weird. I didn't understand which cards Sooner was really going after and which ones he wanted to let resolve, because he let one Glimmer resolve, then he countered another card draw spell, and it didn't seem to really make too much sense to me.
It is going to be Syncopate ultimately that Holtman picks. That's going to be exiled now. That's Syncopate. And we get to see what Fit's up to for his next turn. Spring to Mind in hand. 2 of. And a land. Nice one as well here for Fit.
Do you get an untapped land with Spring?
No. It comes into play tapped. And then the back end is a 6-mana Divination. A nice little value play out of the graveyard. Very, very expensive, you would think, for the effect that you get. But that's just the power of Aftermath. The fact that it's an instant doesn't hurt as well.
That's quite confusing, I think, having these cards that are sorceries first and then instants later.
Yeah, the commit to memory is definitely the more sort of intuitive sort of layout for effects like that. The instant first, then the sorcery second.
Because all split cards have always been like that they have the same speed.
Oh, you think it should just be symmetrical?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. All right, I can see that. Another Spring to Mind now for Havit. He's going to be able to activate that Compass should he choose to as well. So his mana development is coming along very nicely, but Holtman does have a response here. We've seen activation of Search for Azcanta. Top 4. So you can find anything interesting here.
I wouldn't have expected Azcanta to be so good in this matchup. I thought that Vid would just always get rid of it easily, but the games haven't really played out like that.
No, lots of land destruction in the deck of Hit between Star of Extinction and Memorial of War. But yeah, Holtman, you make a good point. Holtman's been able to get some real value off of his Search for Azcanta.
Yeah, he had it early, and of course then once you get going with it, it also protects itself in a way.
So disallow now on the Spring to Mind, but Fit is going to go and find another land. And this means that Thaumatic Compass is going to be flipped by the look of things. 7 lands in play. Or did he play the 6th land this turn, perhaps? So that island may yet be in his hand. Nope. Okay, there we go. So 7th land means that the Spires of Erazka emerge in the distance. Back to Fit now. Holtman hasn't been able to commit anything to the board just yet, although he's playing a tidy control game here, Simon. And again, Rich, we see the big count up.
Now, is he just seeing whether he's got to 10 or not?
No,
But he's only at 8, so...
just counting mana for his Star of Extinction, I think.
So, 7 mana Stone Rain. How you like that one? Commit to memory tucks it away, so if it can look forward to drawing that star once again. And back to Holtman now. And he finds Nicol Bolas, the God Pharaoh. Look at this. Big plays here for the German. The meanest girl in school looking to get some work done here. Let's see what's on top of the library.
Who's the rogue deck now?
So we're seeing a confusing bit of interaction here. Well, I don't think there's anything to confuse about it, but the players seem to be confused. We had the Star of Extinction tucked away by that commit to memory, and it looks like Holtman is activating Bolas's +2 effect. I'm gathering that from the way that he pointed it at Fit's deck. So Holtman could be the one casting the very expensive free Stone Rain just now. And Nicol Bolas, God Pharaoh, a pretty good card against a deck that is playing infinite 6, 7, 8 drops.
Oh, it's great.
Let's see now.
Does this mean, Simon, we may not be too far away from watching Mark Tobias with Paradoxical Storm on Time Walk?
I think that Nicol Bolas is definitely something that Suna has to answer right now.
So now, Nicholas Holtman having a read of his. What can I even do with this card? He says. What is it? It's got 4 abilities. I mean, I can't even remember all of them. What is it possible for me to make happen here? Fit in the same position. Bit of war and peace action here as they read through these enormous paragraphs. Let's see what Holtman's up to next. Siege Gang Commander comes down for him. Got syncopated last time. This time, however, Holtman's a happy chappy and he gets his gobbos. Bolus goes downstairs. 7 damage to you. And this means that Siege Gang Commander is looking good to close up the game pretty quickly, Simon.
Yeah, Niklas is not messing around. This is not your typical control deck.
Mind. End of turn.
So, Vit draws 2. Instant speed. 6 mana draw 2.
How about an Hour of Devastation? But that does it damage Nicol Bolas?
Doesn't kill Nicol Bolas. It only deals damage to non-Bolas planeswalkers.
This flavor text on these cards.
Yeah. We've seen some really weird stuff come up. But, I mean, it'd be a nice answer to the Siege Gang Commander. But Hour of Devastation will not remove the Godfarer. That would be a flavor violation of the highest order.
Oh, but it would be so good. It wiped the board. We could carry on.
But no, instead it's the Star of Extinction. Going to be negated now. And Vit, I think, has Holtman got enough to end the game this turn?
7... yes.
So attack now for 5, and then these goblins can be flung upstairs to close out the final points of damage here. Holtman has enough red mana to activate it a bunch of times, in addition, of course, to the 7 from Vit. Gobbo fling it up at you, and that is enough to Suna Vit with one of the sweetest decks we've seen all weekend. Goes down in 2 games to 1 against Nicholas Holtman. Well, you paid for your whole seat, my friends, but you only needed the edge of it for that round. It was quite...
Oh, dear.
Wow, what a roller coaster ride there, Rich Hagen.
That was fantastic. That is what you get on Good Morning Magic. There's plenty more where that came from. Still to come this round. Highlights, as it were, of Mark to be Ash with Paradoxical Storm. If we get there, though, that game was pretty long. Black-Green Ramp, Laurie Pisper, plenty more coming. We'll just lie down for a few minutes. We'll see you in just a bit. See you in a tick.
Spell slinging is a great way to meet players that I wouldn't normally get to meet.
Spell slinging is a great way for viewers and fans to meet Magic personalities and pros. It's kind of the best thing ever, actually.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Grand Prix Copenhagen. If you are just joining us, oops, you missed Haphazard Teamer.
You've chosen poorly.
We're not even going to explain it now. Go back, watch it later. You will not regret that choice. Well, actually, thinking about some of the things that went on, they might. But Paradoxical Outcome Storm Thing is what's coming up next. Mark Tobiash, we're going to go into game number 2. He's up against the red-black chainwheeler deck of Kelsang Bass, and we will see what happens here in game number 2 in the company of Riley Knight and Simon Gertzen, as we're underway with Tobiash already 1-0 up. Riley.
So for those of you who haven't seen Mark Tobiash's Paradoxical Storm list, it's been played on Magic Online for quite a while. There's been a number of streamers playing this list. One of them, my good friend Yamin Kauf, has been crushing the leagues with it as well. It's a weird one. It is a very, very weird one. It essentially is all in on this card that you're seeing right now, Ethersphere Reservoir, because without this card, the deck does stone nothing. It attacks for 1 with a Glintsleeve Crane. With the reservoir, however, it looks to chain a bunch of 0 and 1 cost artifacts like the Renegade map, like the Ornithopter that you can see in hand there for Tobiash. Pick them all back up with the Paradoxical Outcome, dump them back onto the battlefield with all the excess mana, gain enough life from the reservoir to go up to above 50, and then one-shot the opponent from there. Pretty elegant, but a bit of a glass cannon, Simon.
Yeah, and definitely not great against duress either. Kelsang Bass will be able to take that Aetherflux Reservoir, which was revealed off Glintnest Crane, but there are some other good options there as well.
This list is floating around again online if you're interested to see exactly what Tobiash... Well, perhaps not exactly, but at least a close approximation of what this deck is working with. Obviously, all in on artifacts. You can see Baral's Expertise, another way for it to interact while still adding to the board. But yeah, look at this. Ornithopter once again proving its worth as a constructed powerhouse. Quite a surprising number of 0-cost artifacts in stand at the moment. Of course, Mox Amber, another one. And then other 1-drop artifacts like Prophetic Prism, Renegade Map. And there's Inspiring Statuary as well on the deck to give everything improvise.
That's actually the leftmost card in Mark Tobiash's hand. Or was until Kelsang.
Put the Metallic Rebuke there, yeah.
Oh, he seems to have a really hard time deciding what to take here. Not just going for the combo piece, apparently.
And by really hard, you mean incredibly long and drawn out.
Yeah. Yep, really taking his time on this decision.
This is Time Walk, so we can't go and smack them about the head for slow play.
Can't go and give him a clip over the ear hole for taking such a glacially long amount of time.
Can't do it.
Tobiash's deck is mono blue. I can tell you it's only playing 18 lands. Don't need any more. Easy game. Also, it has no ways to generate mana with a Mox Amber outside of the Baral Chief of Compliance and the Padim Consul of Innovation in the sideboard.
Glacial Fortress, that's the card, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Not Glacial Duress.
No.
Right.
No.
Because that's what he just cast.
Yeah, yeah. But ultimately, a decision was made, and the game moves on. Back to Bass now. After a Prophetic Prism comes down for Tobiash. Tobiash, the captain of the German World Magic Cup team last year, made a top 8 performance, made it all the way to the finals. No, the semi-finals, I should say, losing out to Poland there.
Poland, of course, eventually went on to lose to Japan in the final.
Yeah, it was a real subversion of the general trend of European history with Poland actually, channeling their inner 14th century and beating the Teutons at something.
Ornithopter. And there's the Prophetic Prism, and...
Now Reverse Engineer, draw 3 cards, powered out, of course, by the Improvise ability on that card there. Nice way to refuel the hand. And Zalfira and Void as well, scrying for Tobiash. We'll see what he wants to do. Looks like this one's staying on top here. No, has a good old think about it. Reverse Engineer isn't quite Thoughtcast, Simon, but it does a good impression of it.
No, I mean in this deck it is a great card because you are playing all these cheap artifacts anyway, and you want to get use out of your Ornithopters, out of your Mox Embers.
Nice quick block from Glint Nest Crane in front of the Rekindling Phoenix. Tobias falls from 14 to 11 via the Scrap Heap Scrounger. Now here's Chandra Torch of Defiance.
Planeswalker is obviously a powerhouse of standard at the moment. One of the many huge 4-drops that these red decks can play. And this is the sort of pressure that the Paradoxical Storm deck really does need to overcome.
Yeah. I don't quite understand why Kelsang still has Shock in his deck after sideboarding, but I would have liked to see him just kill the Ornithopter for good.
So we'll see now. Inspiring Statuary helping to power out another non-artifact spell, and it's going to be Baral's Expertise, targeting the Ornithopter, the Prophetic Prism, and the Rekindling Phoenix.
And that means Buzz will not have lethal next turn unless he top decks something.
That's in a tricky position, and there's the shock on the Ornithopter, recognizing that he needs to do something with that card before it's too late. And Baral's Expertise is going to see Aetherflux Reservoir cast for free. So Tobias from here stands to gain a lot of life. Ornithopter again coming down, or a different copy of it, I should say. Mismatch copy as well for those playing at home. Going to gain a bunch of life as well. And up to 13. So now Aetherflux Reservoir is going to get it done.
Top deck Glorybringer here.
Okay, maybe not. Oh dear. Wrong.
It always shows up at the right moment.
Yeah, it's got a handy way of being there just when you need it.
Not quite lethal though.
No, the Aetherflux Reservoir is one of the fantastic ways for this deck to really get back into it. And, stabilizing is a lot easier when you've got a reservoir, and even something like an Ornithopter.
Oh, a Braid.
Oh, no. Oh, no. One of the cards that this deck essentially folds to is a Braid.
And Buzz, once again, unsure what to target.
Aggressive starts and a Braid or any kind of artifact removal really is the bane of this Paradoxical Storm list. Interestingly as well, this deck is actually quite resilient against disruption. Duress is not so good against the Paradoxical Storm strategy due to just the raw number of card draw spells they have. Counter spells often a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
We see Duress and Negate as standard sideboard staples here. Here's an Aetherflux Reservoir, going to draw a card and gain some life off Prophetic Prism, and Tobias is well and truly in this game. Another Reservoir off the top by the look of things. So if he gets to untap, he's going to be gaining a whole stack of life.
Just give you a couple of the top table results, because obviously while we're watching 6 and 2, the Beans and 8 and 0's going on. Tobias Maurer goes to 9 and 0, defeating Lova Rask, falls to 8 and 1. Javier Dominguez is up to 9 and 0, defeating Marku Antilla. So Dominguez at 9 and 0, Antilla at 8 and 1. Lucas Blahan, Christian Ahlstrom still playing very late in the round.
Glorybringer comes across, going to exert to remove this Ornithopter, and that's enough for Tobias to pack it up now. He realizes that the pressure has been piled on sufficiently for him to, go to game number 3, and with things tied up at 1 and 1, Bass on a mulligan to 6. Tobias going to kick things off with a Zalfir and Void.
Last perfect record, Jakob Kierkeberg defeats Gint Stromanis. Stromanis was paired up, so falls to 7 and 2. Jakob Kierkeberg up to 9 and 0. I'll fill you in on the Blahan Ahlstrom result when I get it.
More news as it comes to hand. Here's a Mox Amber now for Mark Tobias. Is he holding another land? Yes, he is, but nothing to do with this mana so far. Soulscar Mage the play for Bass. He does need a nice aggressive start due to the stabilization capacity of the Paradoxical Storm list, and Bass needs to come out of the gates early.
Yep, but he's doing that just fine, I think.
Well, Metallic Rebuke has something to say about that as the Scrap Heap Scrounger hits the bin. Probably will come back again. Here's another Zalfir and Void. Tobias going to send this one below deck.
That explains why Tobias played the Mox Amber on turn 2. He wanted to have mana, so to speak, for Metallic Rebuke.
I guess it does power the improvised cards. So it does do that at least. Renegade map off the top now for Tobias. Immediately deploys it. Nothing else for him to do with his turn by the look of things. He's got the Aetherflux Reservoir in hand. Unable to cast it, however. Same goes for the 4-drop commit. Bass not doing much with his third turn. We'll see what he can do with his fourth. Tends to be the critical turn in the red decks. Such a plethora of 4-drop threats in red decks today, Simon.
Yeah, almost too many in standard to choose from. Chandra, Phoenix, Hazard, Karn.
It is going to be Chandra now as we speed things up a little bit, get this game done and dusted before we have to go to round number 10 here. He'll be joined by Tim Willoughby and Joel Larson. Commit to memory, going to pop Chandra back in the library so she can't do too much more torching just now. And Rich will be hanging out in the booth a little bit longer with those two.
I think I might, see what they've got to offer. Well, apart from anything else, Joel Larson's probably still got his sling on, so that should provide some comedic banter.
Yeah, get a little bit of you'll get some good mileage out of that one.
Yeah, I've been wrestling overnight with, what to come up with for that. So.
Did you see that he was spell slinging on Friday?
Sling spelling.
Yeah, sling spelling. Really got into the swing of things with that one.
Yeah, he got a proper mullering last weekend though.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the official line. The official story is that he broke his collarbone wrestling Martin Muller. As I said yesterday, I have heard other accounts, but we don't have time to go into them all now. Aetherflux Reservoir now for Tobias, the hinge upon which this entire deck turns. And now, Bass goes upstairs with Chandra. Dragon Skull Summit goes at the dome. Tobias needs a big turn here. He needs to chain some spells together, start gaining some life because he is under pressure. Goblin Chain Whirler is still a respectable threat, even though its trigger isn't at its best in matchups like this, Simon.
Yeah, and Kelsang once again had the braid just in time.
Easy
Top decked it this turn.
Easy game, easy life for Bass here as he continues to pile on pressure for Tobias. He's on 4. I don't know what the German can do to get out of this one. And it is going to be an extension of the hand there for Mark Tobias. Germany's WMC captain of last year goes down 2-1.
Yep. So, sorry, didn't get to see the one game that he did win. We knew it was going to go to 3, so we decided we'd fit in game 2 and 3. Turned out Red Black Chain Whirler got the job done. So that's it for round number 9. Good Morning Magic is underway. Tim and Joel will be right back with me in just a few minutes. See you in a tick.